let's talk about your decision to leave Mississippi and move to Alaska. What do you think led to that decision to go to Alaska?
There was nothing there in Mississippi really. Wanted to try something different.
It wasn't about getting away from sites, evoked past memories and trauma.
I didn't realize it at the time though. That
Yeah,
was the second time I moved away, and when we moved here, it dawned on me that relocating to Hill is a good idea. Yeah, we moved to Alaska. It was fun for a little while. So when I really moved up there, my family knew I was for sure about moving. They came after me hard. It's funny when you do something for yourself, you really find out what other people are to you, how much they care about you. I was always to keep it together in the family, to fixing everybody's problems, and still being told I was stupid and worthless.
as kind of the same thing in the military. When we go home on leave, you're just one person going back however
Mm-hmm.
many miles you're traveling. For me, 17 hours, like 1,100 miles or so. Like, so you go back there, and then you got a bunch of people that find out you're there, and they're like, "Why don't you come see me?" Like, yeah, I just drove 1,100 miles.
You know,
Why don't you
and
come
this
see
was
me?
across the ocean
Oh, yeah.
for however long. Yeah,
So kind of that feeling of when you stop making the effort, it kind of seemed like you
see
realize
who's really your friends, and
where the importance
yeah,
really lied.
I was 2 hours away from them at one point. My family, and I've seen them twice in 1 year.
Where do you think your mental health was then compared to now?
Dude, it's night and day. I remember my therapist asked me how long I've been depressed, and I said, looking back now, I think I've just been depressed my whole life. I didn't even know it. I just
Yeah,
thought it was normal.
just
I
thought it was a
thought,
normal feeling.
yeah, you just get drunk, just have fun, and hate your day.
Living
Just
for the drinks.
yeah, just get by and make it another day.
Well, that's the only way you could
Make everybody
really
else happy,
enjoy it.
because you're not thinking about everything else that's going on, numbing yourself. That's why I always like to say now is don't numb the pain, fix it. That's my life motto now. It's one reason I wanted to do this. Help people out, other people to fix their pain.
You
But
say
it's it.
like leaving meant kind of disappointing people, but
Oh,
staying meant disappointing yourself.
yep.
Not from a lack of trying to still make everything work, huh?
Yeah, it's just prioritizing, leaving, prioritize myself, and staying, prioritize them is what they wanted. And they say or do say anything, try to say anything, and emotionally manipulate you because they knew my buttons. They know my buttons. They still try it even after I ask them certain things to do. Just they don't care. But I got a family of my own now. That's my priority. So they've chose their ways, and I'm gonna choose mine.
Let's go back to where you were saying that the difference in mental health before leaving home to Alaska to back to Alaska to here. Like, where do you see the major differences throughout
Where
the
were
whole
they?
route?
A similarity in it is me running from stuff. I feel like it was either me running from things or trying to please the other party. So for Alaska, it was her family. I couldn't keep them happy, so we moved up there to them. Go try that, and it's like we finally moved somewhere else other than those two places. It was for us. It's been a blessing.
Where do you see the biggest change at, or the biggest improvement overall? What aspect of your mental health have you found the biggest improvement being away from all the past trauma?
The anxiety. I remember walking on eggshells around my house, and that's one thing we're working on. Is just be able to come home and relax. I think that's why I'm so tired all the time. Is I can finally, for once, relax in my own house.
What kind of feeling is that? Just like what I was saying, yesterday? Got that weird feeling when I was
Yeah,
riding? Like,
I think I'm happy.
yeah. Like, what is this feeling?
I'm just
I
singing
don't
songs and
don't
just
recognize it. Just
doopy
listening to
doing
music,
and
bopping along
enjoying the
on the
breeze.
motorcycle, and when it just hit me, like, what am I feeling right now? Like, this isn't a familiar
That's
feeling I have.
feelings. Yeah,
Oh, I think it's called happiness.
yeah. That's another thing I had to work on in therapy was actually just recognizing emotions, happy, sad, mad, whatever they may be. Because my thing was I numbed myself. I didn't feel anything. If I didn't feel anything, I never hurt. My therapist had to help coach me on what certain feelings were. I had to describe what was going on. She's like, "Oh, well, maybe you're feeling this." I'm like, I guess I don't know.
Kind of the same way I feel too. Like, how are you feeling? I'm like, I'm here. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm breathing. What?
Like,
I was told I wasn't supposed to have feelings.
it is all pretty superficial.
Yeah,
Nothing any deeper than surface level normally. No way of really knowing how to explain
yeah,
what I was feeling there. Hard to recognize it.
yeah.
Still haven't really gotten there. So every time I do those questionnaires or anything at the VA and stuff like that? Sure, I guess I'm okay. Do you ever have that feeling of like you're betraying family?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh dude, and they try to use that against me too. I think it was one part what led me to be suicidal was
that
yeah, betraying family, and I couldn't make them happy. I wasn't happy. I couldn't. It was just all downhill. It ain't all bad because one of the main thoughts was I didn't want my kid to have the same childhood I did. And if I'm repeating those steps that like my dad did or something, the same personality traits, I was going to do the same to him, and I gut wrenched me so much that I just thought the best way was to disappear forever. You know, if I went in the picture, there was no chance of me screwing it up.
that feeling growing up of you couldn't do anything right? Would you? How'd you say it was always said?
Like, oh God bless it, leave it alone. You're going to fuck it up.
Oh yeah,
That's what he would
that's
say. It
God
was
bless it, huh?
yeah, it was very emotionally worded, sounded.
And I guess as somebody with a developing brain, that makes it you
Man,
connect stuff like that with everything else in life too. Makes it really hard for your emotions to
yeah.
well, you already can't really regulate them at
That's
those young
still
ages.
that's why I'm still scared to even touch other people's stuff. Like I'm okay with touching your motorcycle now, and because I've learned a little bit now over time that I'm not going to fuck it up all the time. And if I did, we'd figure it out. But like maybe somebody that's kind of just overwhelmed or something, I just nope, I'm not going to touch their
Yeah,
stuff. It's just something about down deep. It comes back up quick. Like hey, you're going to mess it up. By the way, you're going to make them mad.
just bring back into that feeling of betrayal when leaving. Is that feeling still there of betrayal, or is that something you work past where you realize like it's not betrayal
I
because
think now it's more of a. I'm realizing I've betrayed myself this long.
it's still
And,
betrayal, but it wasn't betrayal on their behalf. It was on your behalf for
yeah,
not realizing sooner.
and with them, I'm more disappointed. I've grieved what I thought. Like if somebody would ask me, like, "Do you miss not talking to them?" Like, I miss what I thought I had. Oh,
Now,
it took me a while to process through that because where we grew up, it was family and nothing. Supposedly, my mom told Seneca,
family,
"Blood's thicker than water.
yeah,
You won't ever come before us."
family over everything. Yet
Yeah.
your families were ones, at least where I grew up. Your cousins and everything were the ones stealing from you and
Yep.
everything,
The ones that were
like
supposed
behind
to
your
be there
back.
for you the most were the
Oh, yeah.
ones. Yeah.
The uncles throwing cinder blocks through the truck windows with you in it
That
as
sounds like a
a
TV show,
6 year old
man.
kid.
I swear
Oh
they could make a
yeah,
TV show out of all of our childhoods.
yeah.
I swear it's the South, man. Where all we
Hey,
grew up from.
there is something in the South,
God,
something
it's
about
something
it.
in the water or something,
Must
man.
be that methamphetamine.
Humidity, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's that humidity makes everybody go crazy.
You
Just
start sweating on your
get
butt
out to
crack
the
and
west.
no, stay over there.
Yeah. If you're crazy, stay there. Don't come over here.
If you're normal or whatever you want to call it. Sure.
That feeling of betrayal, though, it's not like you just up and moved but didn't reach out.
No, no. When I moved and stuff, I like when we announced our engagement when we get married. They lost their noodles. They pretty much all they had to do was get there. I told them like, hey, everything's covered once you get here. Like I've already arranged for places for y'all to stay,
Yeah.
vehicles, transportation, food, whatever. Like her family's going to do a lot of that.
Fights paid for.
Her parents were talking about helping even with the flights. Because they had never met them. They just
So pretty much no excuse not to come
and
other than ego, pride,
it was the fact that they didn't want me
didn't
to
want
leave.
to. Yeah, didn't want to.
Yeah,
Simply didn't
basically.
want to.
They didn't want me to leave. And the day my brother said, I'm not coming up here to watch you marry a mistake one of those times.
I'm sure from their point of view, also looking at it objectively, they probably did think that they were being betrayed. Maybe still do think that they were being betrayed. But it's
Yeah,
not like, I don't know. I can't see how that's a betrayal.
it's almost like if everybody's suffering and somebody takes that courageous leap out, they don't want you to,
I,
because they're too scared to do it. They want to drag you back in.
our society does kind of look for the suffering. Like we want to see people suffer. It's kind of a silly comparison, but would you rather watch somebody walk down the sidewalk normally? Or would you rather watch them fall on a patch of ice on the sidewalk
I think we've
in
talked
a
about that
video?
on videos and stuff.
Yeah,
We'd rather see motorcycle wrecks instead of people just having fun
yeah,
down the road.
yeah.
Always seeing the bad and stuff. Yeah,
That's what kind of gets clicks and views on social media is the suffering of people, and
yeah,
it's probably that escapism.
yeah.
People don't want to. they want to know that other people are suffering in the world
You know,
besides
now you
themselves.
say that, it makes me think about when I finally decided to actually go to therapy. I was listening to the Lonnie show. I finally started listening to him, and I've never been to therapy. I grew up in a house where doctors piss on them; they're screwing you over, you know. But yeah, I would listen to him and just give me a perspective of how it worked, how he talked to people, and what he would say to their statements and stuff. I was like, huh.
Yeah, I was able to realize a lot watching his show.
Shout out to Deloney.
A lot of knowledgeable things in there. And he takes calls from real callers. Not just sitting there reading from a script.
Another thing I had to work on was perspectives and then reframing your thoughts. That's helped me a lot, like road rage and whatnot, and just my anger in general. Certain people would come at you for certain things, like just lose their mind over nothing. And you're like, why are you so mad about this? And really, deep down, it's take an example like when you said that when we were going to town the other day, and you were following me, and I just kind of drove off and
Yeah.
left you behind a little bit. Like you originally, you probably in your mind was like, man, screw you, dude. Like you're probably ready to pull me over and beat me on the side of
I
the
wouldn't
road,
say
right?
those words.
Well, I'm trying to keep it G-rated here, you know. You finally sat back and thought, like, why am I really mad about this? You
Yeah.
sat back and reflected on your thoughts, like, why am I actually mad? So it helped me, like, why is this person mad? Like, a lot of times you can just figure out, like, they're having a bad day. There's no
Yeah.
need in trying to argue with them because it's not going to change their mind.
I think it's a big step when you can realize that stuff and break it
I
down
think it's part of
in your
maturity
head.
too, ain't it?
Yeah, I think it is part of maturing. Really important to be able to break that down in the heat of the moment too. I think as men, especially, we learn how to, and it's natural in us to break down combat situations. Almost every man, as is ingrained in us to where we can break down high stress situations and combat situations a lot better. When it comes to emotions and feelings, it's just kind of we don't know how to stop and be like, why am I feeling this way right now? And our normal thing is fight or flight, and most of us just go to fight immediately. And if we don't, we just jump straight to flight and get out of there, and we
Leave
never stop
everything
and be like,
behind.
all right, what are we doing? So when we feel emotions, that's kind of what we do.
A lot of times it's better just to leave the situation, though.
Oh yeah, I don't think what your situation, I don't think was a flight situation. In that
Yeah,
it was more of a you actually came to realization of like,
yeah,
oh, this is doing me no good at all being here.
yeah,
It's doing my family no good. Why would I stay around in a situation that's going to repeat the cycle for my own children,
yeah.
and especially have my wife, being disrespected by my own family.
Why was I surprised they don't respect me, their own kid?
You felt like you traded the comfort of that familiar space, the uncertainty. I mean, you probably felt that more when you left to come to Nashville, huh? For the railroad,
I,
like, because it's like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen when I get out there. So that's how I felt when I joined the military.
yeah.
I'm just kind of like,
It keeps a lot of people where they are, though.
yeah, it does,
They're,
and
you know what? They're in an abusive relationship or something, but at least they know what's coming the next day.
yeah, I was
You
like,
know,
well, I could be getting beat worse.
or you couldn't be beaten at all. That's where you got to find that
Yeah,
courage
but
and
that's where they kind of or maybe you don't get beat.
there's better out there.
Well,
Trust
yeah,
me,
but yeah,
there's
that
better out there.
familiar cocoon, I think,
Yeah.
where we get so used to. Kind of how why I joined the military in the first place. I was working at a little factory there in Franklin, Kentucky. My job was to take fuel rails from a cardboard box that they were made somewhere else and package them in our containers. That was my whole job, like 8, 10 hour days doing that. And I talked to a lot of people there that were in their 50s, 60s, and retirement was nowhere in sight for them. They been working there 30 years. They were still making back then like $15 an hour,
Pretty decent, I
good
guess.
money in that area back then,
Yeah.
but still is back then you could actually buy a house on that with a family. But and I just thought to myself one day, I don't want to wake up tomorrow, be 60 years old, like maybe I'm a manager here or something. From what I've seen working there, there's not a whole lot of upward progression in those places. A lot of times they
Mm.
hire outside. Anyways, they outsource the upper management and stuff. And I was like, I just don't want to wake up and be here. Even if I try 100 things and fail at 100 things, at least I tried. And I think that's when I decided I'm gonna go join the army. And boy, was my dad not happy. It wasn't. I didn't tell him at all either. I was 19, so whatever. Showed up like, yeah, join the army. By that time, my dad was at a better point in his life.
Mm.
Like he wasn't an alcoholic anymore and stuff like that. But He told me that he's like, "You're stupid. They're just gonna send you straight to Afghanistan." I was like, "Nah, they ain't gonna do that."
What they do?
Yeah, got to my unit and deployed 2 months later.
Yeah,
I'm like, yay! I had that same feeling though of the so familiar. I don't want to leave. I love my hometown. And then I was just like, yeah. After talking to those people, I was like, yeah, I can't do this. Really, I talked to. There was a gentleman there, an older black gentleman who was in the Navy, and I talked to him. He said that even though he's right back where he started, he got to see the world and
yeah,
go do. He lived in so many other places. I'm right back where I started. So, but I got to see everything.
yeah,
I got to experience more stuff, and that's why I was like, yeah, I've got to go do something.
yeah.
Like most people in my hometown, all around that whole area down there, and I'm sure it's the same for
Mm.
your hometown.
Don't leave.
They don't leave.
Mm-mm.
Like they don't leave, and in 20, 30 years, I don't. Maybe that's what's right for them though. But I know
Yeah,
for me that sitting here disabled, no job as of now, I'd still take this over working at that factory back home all those years.
right.
Like I've gotten a chance to go around the world, uh, go on 2 deployments, meet numerous good friends throughout that whole period. So for me, the jump was well worth it. Step off into the unknown there,
Yeah.
and I think it is probably for most people. Like to at least try. Like if you
Just go
fail, you
somewhere.
fail. Yeah, you can
Typically,
always
you can
go
always go
back. You can
back.
always try somewhere else. Do something else. I still get down on myself a lot of times, thinking like, "Oh, I thought I was going to be somewhere completely different when I was like 30 years old. Completely different right now. Be a homeowner, have land, maybe a farm. Nope. I still get down on myself about that every once in a while, and then I get reminded that it's never too late to do that stuff. I spent a lot of my younger years chasing other dreams.
Yeah. What was their names?
Yeah, yeah, chasing other dreams.
We all have a path in life we got to take though. We have a purpose to fill. I always feel like my whole existence up to this point has been for a reason, and I think I'm starting to figure out what it is. I was just being conditioned, trained to do what I'm going to do,
Summary of not being afraid to take those leaps.
not to be afraid to
Sometimes
do something different, do
I
something
feel
for
like
yourself.
you might even not even realize
I didn't.
of those mental wounds at the time. I think for most people, if they just got away for a little bit, and then all that stuff starts coming to light a little bit.
Be careful. Be prepared to deal with it though. If you make
Oh
that
yeah.
leap, prepare for the other side. It's good, but you hit that downfall first.
Oh, it's not easy. A downfall can last several years too. Takes a lot of breaking down before you can rebuild.
You pretty much have to restructure everything.
Can't really rebuild on past struggles and trauma. You got
You
to
know,
get to the root cause before you can really rebuild on anything.
it's like she said the other day. Like we're doing everything completely different. I was like, good, great, perfect.
Some things just work out how they're supposed to in the end, I guess. So if you ever left your hometown to escape something, or you want to, leave a comment and let's talk about it. Like and subscribe. We'll see y'all in the next one.
And all the ones after that.